Legendary actor Vince Vaughn has all of the woke leftists absolutely losing their minds today after what he just did that has completely broken their entire existence. There are literally leftists today who are saying that they're never gonna watch a Vince Vaughn movie ever again because of what he just did to take an incredible stand against their insanity, okay? Because Vince Vaughn just broke the world for a lot of these leftists when he has now come out in full support of Trump in the most epic way possible. This was something that was posted just a few days ago where Vince Vaughn was hanging out with President Trump at the White House, and this was posted by the official White House account over on X, where they said President Trump and Vince Vaughn in the Oval Office, and they did this whole epic thing where they basically did like a movie poster. It gets even better from there when the leftists started to dig into who Vince Vaughn actually was and what he stands for and all that, because they started to find out that Vince Vaughn is actually very, very pro-American, very pro things like the Second Amendment, which of course has a lot of them very, very upset. So this is an epic quote coming from Vince Vaughn here, where he said, "I support people having a gun in public, full stop, not just in your home." Which is very base. There are very few people that have this type of sentiment, but this is fantastic to see. We don't have the right to bear arms because of burglars. We have the right to bear arms to resist the supreme power of a corrupt and abusive government. Which is exactly what the founding fathers intended. The fact that Vince Vaughn is saying this is incredible. It's well known that the greatest defense against an intruder is the sound of a gun hammer being pulled back. And this reminds me of things that we have seen others, certain actors say recently, like Kurt Russell. And you can go check out that video on my channel if you want to. It was absolutely fantastic. And while you're at it, make sure that you leave a like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. But then things even got crazier after people started to realize that Vince Vaughn likes to hang out with Mel Gibson as well. And you can definitely start to see some of the dots connecting with all of that. Absolutely epic stuff. Remember Vince Vaughn and Mel Gibson having to suffer through Meryl Streep's insufferable anti-Trump speech at the Golden Globes? This is the same woman who constantly praised Harvey Weinstein, of course, which is pretty insane stuff, but they definitely look pretty miserable there. And so with all of this combined, leftists are starting to have a real hate boner for Vince Vaughn in an absolutely hilarious way. Way to torpedo your Hollywood career, Vince. Vince Vaughn has always been MAGA. So these are some articles that have been posted about some of the things that Vince Vaughn has done in the past. In January, Vaughn was spotted taking photos with fans at Trump's inaugural Starlight Ball. No! How dare he takes pictures with fans? Last year, Vaughn acknowledged he's a libertarian and described himself as a believer more in allowing individuals to make choices, which of course is something that's being portrayed as a negative thing by this article, which is pretty insane. Like, these communists are absolutely ridiculous and we need to get all of them out, okay? This is another pretty hilarious thing. Meanwhile, in 2020, Vaughn received backlash after he was seen chatting and shaking hands with Trump at a college football playoff. So, yeah, all of these leftists are starting to find out the truth about Vince Vaughn and they don't know how to deal with it. So there's Vince Vaughn hanging out with Trump, shaking his hand and all of that stuff. And the meltdowns only get crazier and crazier coming from these leftists. We need more Will Ferrell and less Vince Vaughn. So, of course, as we know, Will Ferrell has gone completely off the deep end. And we have this quote here from Will Ferrell. "I don't know why transformer people are meant to be threatening to me. Why would you care if somebody's happy? Why is that threatening to you?" Well, you got to take a look at the bigger society and what it means to all of that. But just compare this quote to what Vince Vaughn said about the Second Amendment. And, well, choose your actor. It's a choose your actor type of situation. And, well, I definitely choose Vince Vaughn in this. Of course, we have people that are saying things like this: "Vince Vaughn is now dead to me as an actor. I will not watch anything he does." As you can see, the meltdowns are absolutely hilarious, and they're going absolutely insane about this entire thing. To think this is an adult saying this, effing pathetic people, which is 100% correct. And I think it's safe to say that we can put Vince Vaughn up there with people like Mel Gibson and Sylvester Stallone and others who have done the courageous thing of taking a stand with America and for Trump and all of that, even if it means them being against the entire Hollywood agenda. So with that being said, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you all in another video very soon.